Hey everybody, Ryan here at eTrailer. Today on our 2018 Acura MDX, we're going to be showing you how to install the eTrailer trailer hitch receiver. But before we get into that, let's just take a couple of minutes, check this out, and make sure it's going to work for you. Having a trailer hitch on the back of the MDX just makes sense. You know, these are really capable SUVs and people use them to do a lot of different things. So whether you're trying to pull your trailer around, use an accessory like a bike rack or a cargo carrier, this one's definitely going to get the job done. Compared to the other hitch available, you know, they're about the same, to be honest with you, in terms of what they're going to be able to handle and everything else. Honestly though, I do kind of like the appearance of this one a little bit better. Having that matte black finish just looks a little more modern and kind of matches and blends into the bottom of our bumper plastic a little better. This is going to be a Class 3 hitch, which means it has a 2-inch by 2-inch opening, very common size, ton of different things are going to work with it. It is going to use that standard 5/8 pin and clip. One doesn't come with the hitch. If you need one, not a huge deal. Grab it here at eTrailer, and a lot of times too, if you end up buying a new accessory, they'll come with one, so just keep that in mind. Safety chain openings are a loop style and give us more than enough room to let us use just about any size hook that our trailer might have on it. As far as the weight capacities go, the hitch is going to give us some really good numbers. Maximum gross tongue weight rating will be 900 pounds. That's the amount of weight pushing down on the hitch, so you'll be able to use any size bike rack or cargo carrier. Just to give you an example, as far as the maximum gross trailer weight rating, that's going to be 6,000 pounds, or the amount of weight pulling on the hitch. So the weight of your trailer plus anything you might have in or on it. This can be used with the weight distribution system, which is a separate component. And what happens when you use that, it's going to keep your Acura and your trailer level whenever you're towing it down the road. So you see those a lot on enclosed trailers and campers. If that's what you got, might be worth looking into. But with that said, if you use it, tongue weight will remain the same at 900. Trailer weight rating, though, we'll get some more out of. That'll go up to 8,000 pounds. And with that said, you know, if you're pulling a trailer around, you're going to want a way to power up all the lights. And to accomplish that, you can always grab some trailer wiring. It's super simple on this vehicle. It plugs right in, so that'll let you get that done. And, you know, with all those weights in mind, I do always like to recommend, not a bad idea to grab your Acura's owner's manual. That way you can check in there and make sure your vehicle can handle that much weight safely. We'll go ahead, grab a couple of measurements. These will help us figure out what type of accessories will work best. From the ground to the top inside edge of the receiver tube opening, that's going to be right at 14 inches. So if you plan on tow-in, chances are pretty good you can get a ball mount that has a slight rise in the shank, maybe an inch or two, probably work for most people. From the center of the hitch pin hole to the edge of the rear bumper, that's going to be about 3 inches, which is really good, so you shouldn't run into any issues, but if need be, you can use that to figure out exactly if any folding type accessories can be stored in that upright position without hitting the back of your MDX. So when it comes down to it, a great all-around hitch. If I was going to put one on my own MDX, this would be it. You know, I think it looks really good and extremely capable, so can't ask for too much more. As far as the installation goes, about as easy as it gets, really. You lower the spare tire and the hitch bolts right up. Some people run into issues with rusty bolts in the frame there, but I'll show you what you can do if that's something that you come across. Put the hitch on, tire goes back up, and that's really all there is to it. So if you like to hang around, we'll go ahead, pull into the garage, and get started on it now. To begin your installation, you're going to be here at the back of your Acura, and we're going to need to temporarily lower and remove the spare tire to give us some more room to work. It will go back up once the hitch is installed, but if you open up your hatch here, you can flip this back, and the access port for the spare tire will be right underneath there. Got this rubber plug. You can pull up on that, take your spare tire tools, and get it lowered. Go ahead, get this off and out of the way for now. Underneath the vehicle now, on our frame rail, we can go over our attachment points. They're going to be the same on each side, and from this point on, anything we do to one side of our vehicle, we'll also do to the other because it'll be set up the same way. So there's going to be 3 threaded weld nuts, one there, and then one kind of tucked in close to the back of our vehicle. A lot of times these will get some dirt and rust and junk built up in it, so spray them out with some penetrating oil. Take a brush, something similar, and just clean them threads out. And then it's not a bad idea to take your hardware and actually make sure it threads in easily. So the hardware that you're going to use for all the attachment points will be a bolt and a conical tooth washer. Make sure the teeth on the washer are going to face up towards the hitch. But we're just giving this a test pass here. So this one threads in easily. I checked the others. We're in good shape. Sometimes, even if you clean them out with a brush, these will be super tight and really difficult to get the bolt in just because if it's really rusty. So if that happens, one thing you can do is take a tap like this. All right, you can pick this up at your hardware store, auto parts store, whatever. And this will thread in there and really do a good job of cleaning out the threads and kind of making them like new again. So that's just a word of advice. If you need one, this is going to be an M14 by 1.5 thread pitch. Now with an extra set of hands, we can take our hitch and raise it into position. While we're holding it in place, we'll line up the holes. Take one of our bolts, and you want to get at least one started on each side, hand tight. That way the hitch will support itself while we work on the rest of the hardware. Once you have all the hardware in place and hand tight, you come back with a 22mm socket and snug them all down. Now you want to make sure and come back with a torque wrench and tighten down all of the hardware to the amount specified in the instructions. Once you have the hitch all torqued down, you can go ahead and raise that spare tire back into position. And that'll finish up our look at and our installation of the etrailer.com trailer hitch receiver on our 2018 Acura MDX.